Hey guys, it's Mr. Waage here, and
Hi, Mrs. Campbell.
how's it going, guys? We have a little fun lesson for you guys today on multiplication review, but we're also going to incorporate some tens into it as well, and doing some multi-step problems. So we're going to showcase what we're going to do today, and it's going to have a little different look in it as well. So don't be scared or thrown off or anything. We're trying new things, and hopefully these will be very easy things for you guys to work with and um, uh, give us better feedback for us without technical issues, hopefully. So I'm going to have Mrs. Campbell go ahead and share her screen, and we'll get started here.
Okay, so when we share it, what we would do is when you come to something that says Google Slides, this is what it's going to look like. And here's an example. We're going to do a couple problems. And when you see a page, you will see where it says click here and type. Once you click in there, you'll be able to type after you read the problem, and you can see here's question 2, and there's question 1, there's question 3. Let's see how many problems are on this page. I think there's 4. So you can see how it all says click here and type. We're going to do the first 2 problems with you. Now, for example, in our directions, I'm going to kind of go through with you. When you are done and when you have to submit, you would go up to this right here where it says share. When you click on it, it will say to enter the names. So we said to enter Linnell Campbell. So when you type it in, you can see right here, for example. And then it says to type in, well, let's do both. Linnell Campbell. Right here. And then it says add another person. You're going to do Tanner Waage, and that comes up. And then when you're done, those are the 2 that you're going to do. You're going to hit send. And then everything will come to us so that we can look at your worksheets. So now what we are going to do is go back, and we're going to use a whiteboard, and we already have the first 2 problems typed out. We're going to go over it of different strategies so that you know how to do some of these multi-step problems. So I'm going to stop share here. I'm going to share the screening of the whiteboard. And you can see that we have 2 problems, and those are identical to the worksheet. And so in this one, I'm going to do number 1, and Mr. Waage is going to do number 2. I will be doing the writing, or is it Mr. Waage? I think I do the writing, not you, correct?
Yeah, you got to do the writing in your part.
Okay. So on this case, here's the text box that you can type in, or you can use the pencil as well. And so if I hit the text box, you can see that's where I'm going to start typing. It says Arthur orders 8 70 packs. So if I used my, Mr. Waage, do you see where the pencil mark is again? I don't see it.
I can't.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but there is also a pencil. But here's the number 8, and then here's the number 70. So if I was there, I would circle it or know that those are important numbers. I have 8 70 packs. So what I would do is type in here to say, okay, I have 8, there's the number, and there's 70 packs. So I don't want to add 70, I'm going to multiply 70, 8 times 70. Now here's a rule or something that I do. And something that I do, I'm going to kind of move over here. I know my major ones is 8 times 7. Well, let me tell you, my son always had trouble with this all through elementary. He couldn't remember it. So we broke it down. So here's what we did. And I'm going to show you how many times you can actually break this down if you need to. So what we did is we split the 8 4 different times in order for him to memorize it. And so this is what it looked like. We did 2 times 7, because what we're doing here is we're going to break this down 4 times. So 2 times 7 equals another 2 times 7 equals another 2 times 7 equals another 2 times 7 equals. And so you notice how I have 2, 4, 6, 8. Now I have the number 8. And so it was simpler now because he knew his 2's. 7 plus 7 is 14. 7 plus 7 is 14. Another 14, and another 14. So look at how many times I broke that down. You do it however is easiest for you. So then we knew, well, 14 plus 14 equaled, well, 10 plus 10, whoops, made a mistake. 10 plus 10 equals 20. 4 plus 4 is 8, so that equaled 28. And then, of course, I did another one, and another 28 plus 28 equaled, well, 6 plus 6 is 16. 8 plus 8 equaled 16. And 20 plus 20 equaled 40. Well, when I add those together, 10 plus 40 is 50, plus 6 equals 56. So it kind of helped my son really break it down. So at first we did the 8 times 6 is 56. And then of course, when you're in the tens, all you have to do is add a 0. So I have 56, I'm in the tens, that's 560. Now that's only one part of the question. Now it says 2 9-packs. Well, that's pretty simple because I've been doing a lot of 2's down here. So if I went 2 times 9 equals 18. Well, there's my two parts here. Now it says how many does he order? I have to put those together. So I have 560 plus 18 equals. Well, I can visualize this right here. Uh-oh. I need to go back to the whiteboard. What did I do?
If you want, it's gonna look a little different, but if you
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
I'm trying to go down below, but I guess I can't. So I need to use my space here. I know 60 plus 10 is 70. That's the only thing that's changing in my tens place. I have no other hundreds, and I know 8 plus 0 is 8. So I know this is 578. So my answer altogether is 578. And Mr. Waage, I will text or do the same thing for you. You just tell me what you would like for question 2.
All right. So number 2 says, is it Enos or Eins? Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Receives 680 packs of toy people and 8 9-packs of marbles. How many did she receive? So a couple of things that I see there is when you read these problems, there's a couple of parts. One of them is that word "and" right in the middle of the sentence, and that tells me that that is my 2 parts to this. And so it kind of gives me a clue of this could either be a combination problem of adding at the end, or you could somehow do a subtraction problem in this as well, if the question said how many more of this did she receive than the other. But in this case, the final question does say how many did she receive. So that does tell me we're going to add at the very end. So the first part says Eins receives 6 80 packs. So each pack is 80, all right, and I have 6 of them. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be taking 6 times 80. Okay, so in this case right here, I'm going to bank off of what Mrs. Campbell mentioned earlier. And with this, I know that with having a 0 at the end of 80, I know the final number in this equation is going to be a 0. All right, so I know that's a truth. So now it just comes down to me taking 8 times 6. All right, so when I take 8 times 6, I know from the previous question, we did 8 times 7. And I think I'm going to use that to help me here. So the previous question, doing 8 times 7, we got 56. But in this case, we're going to take away 1/8 from this. So I'm going to take 56 and I'm going to take away 8 from this in this situation, because I knew that 8 times 7 was 56. So 56 minus 8, I know I can borrow this one where I can take, I might have to borrow. So because I can't take 6 1s and take away 8. So I want to borrow from the 5 10s. So that 5 10s will become 4 10s and the 6 will become 16. So I want to take 16 minus 8. And when I take 16 minus 8, it's going to give me 8, leaving me with 4 10s. So I know the answer, when I take 56 minus 8, I'm going to get 48. So now that I know what 8 times 6 is 48, I know 6 times 80 equals 480. Now, the second part of this says I have 9 packs of marbles. So in each pack, there are 9. So I'm going to take 8 times 9. Now, we've done 8 times 6. We've done 8 times 7. Now we're going to continue to move on. But in this case, I know that with doing these right here, we can take our 9s right here and add them up. So kind of going off of what Mrs. Campbell did earlier, if you want to break this down to where you are, if it's a struggle for you, you can break this in halves, or you can go down to 2s if you want. So you can take 4 times 9 and 4 times 9 if that helps you. If you know your 4s better. I know 4 times 9 equals 36, because I know 4 times 10 is 40. So I'm going to take 1 less 4 from 40. So that gives me 36. So I have 36 and 36 here. When I put those two together, I know 6 plus 6 is 12. And my 3 10s plus 3 10s, or 30 plus 30, equals 60. So I'll end up having 60 plus 12. And that would give me 60 plus 12 will give me 72. So that tells me 8 times 9 equals 72. So at the end here, I have 480 and I'm adding 72. So now when I add these together, I know from looking at my ones place, I know that we have 0 and a 2. So I know my last number in this equation should end in a 2. So I'm going to look at what I have here, and I always kind of like one of the things I always kind of look for is is recognizing what is left for each. I know in the first number, if we have hundreds, when the second number is 72, we don't have that. So for the 4 to be affected, I can kind of incorporate that as 48 tens, and I'm adding 7 tens to that. So I know for 48 and I'm adding 7, I know 48 plus 2 gives me 50. So 2 from 7 gives me 5. So I know 48 plus 7 equals 55. So when I take 480 plus 72, I should get 552. So how many toys did she receive is 552.
I'm just trying to, I'm going to start another box. I don't know why this is not working, but 480 plus 72, you said equaled
552.
Plus 72 equaled 552.
Correct.
And when you were talking, did you want me to type anything down of how you got 552? I apologize. I was having technical difficulty on this side.
I think we're okay. So.
Okay. So now that you know, or hopefully you have some ideas, that you have some understanding, it's a multi-step multiplication problems, and do the best you can. Don't give up, and always try your very best.
Well said. All right, guys, if you have any questions, reach out to us. We'll do our best to help you along the way. Otherwise, have a great day. See you guys.
Bye-bye.